Well, it's about 4:30 in the morning. It is about time for me to head to the airport, and begin the day-long marathon that will be the extended summer delivery. So, here goes.
Here is Stand With Science in Washington, D.C.
Get ready to share our passion for standing with science. It was a pretty good day there in D.C., right? We started at Senator Alexander's office. Very supportive, of course. That was a good way to start off the morning.
Yeah, and then our next meeting was in Scott Brown's office. Senator Brown himself did actually stop by and say hello and express his support for science.
Next, we went to Kansas. So myself, I'm from Manhattan, Kansas, so it was nice to go into Senator Moran's office. They seemed really expressive about it, and that leads perfectly into our next meetings with Capuano and Fatso. Capuano, his words pretty much to the T was that, great, you've got some awesome areas, now let's make them even better.
Yeah, so I met with Representative Chakafata, and he caught me flat-footed because he had read the letter on his own. With a guy in his position, it's great to see that he really is all over the science aspect.
Afternoon we ended it with Lewis. His staff were able to hear that this is something important in New York State too as well. Very supportive. I think that was the big message throughout the day, was that they were like, we're totally behind you. And yes, maybe there's going to be challenges, but we're ready to step up to the plate. That was good.
So, what's one thing that you took away from the trip to D.C.?
If I had to pick one thing, it would be the two who joined us from Johns Hopkins. And I think it was cool that they, just like we had done a few months before, they got out of the lab and spoke up in a way that was really compelling.
I first came to the United States because it's a leader in technical research. Continuing with science funding is really important for not just America's future, but for the entire world's future.
This is actually something that is real. There's something that does affect us. And we're trying to sell people something that they want to buy, and we just need to work on our sales pitch.
And so, it was great to watch them for the first time get out of their labs and do this. And they realized, just like I realized before, that, hey, this is not something that's impossible to do. It doesn't take a fancy skill set.
All you need is to be willing to take the time to speak to them, and it doesn't actually take years or months. It takes a couple days. They welcome consistent reminders about what's valuable, what's important.
They want to know what their voters want.
Great day. But that wasn't the end, right? We know we're moving forward. What do you see as some steps that we're going to take to move forward?
Well, I think it's really important that there be next steps. That was a common theme that a lot of the offices touched on. This is great, guys, but what's next?
Yeah.
We can't just stop here because the discussion doesn't end now. We met with 6 congressional offices.
Yeah.
So there are tons of offices out there that we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of. And, we have signatories in all 50 states, and we're going to be putting together information about how many people signed the letter and where they're from. And so I think the next step, the immediate next step, is people across the country taking the initiative, calling their congressman, emailing the congressman, sending this letter to the congressman, setting up a meeting. All of those things are really important.
And I think it's also about maintaining some of the solidarity, so that yes, go and speak with your representative and your senator, but speak with your family, speak with your friends. Standing with Science has a really good reputation right now. We're graduate students getting together and talking. People are considering us something that matters. But in the end of the day, it's about making sure that we stand together as a community. There's not that many other people standing up for us, and it's our turn. And it's an exciting time for Standing with Science. As others have said, we're just on the cusp of the next stage, and we don't see ourselves going anywhere. We're going to have a really good time.
So it's about 1:45 in the morning. I have at long last returned after a 23-hour day. I'm gonna run one last data set for my research, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So, good night.